This is my video update on this Sunday evening, July the 28th. Let's talk about some news, and we have to start things off with a dangerous escalation between Israel and Hezbollah. Now, in the morning, Sunday morning, there were reports that a missile hit a football pitch in the Golan Heights, and 10 10 children and teenagers, Arab Druze children and teenagers in this area were killed, 30 people injured. And Israel claims that this is a Hezbollah missile that was launched into the Golan. They claim it was an Iran-made Falak 1 missile, which was used in the attack on Majdal Shams. Hezbollah is denying that they fired a missile into the Golan area. They said that they would never fire a missile into this specific area. And there are reports that this may have been an Iron Dome missile that that landed on this football pitch. So we had Israel later in the day launching strikes into Lebanon, and they claim that they hit Hezbollah military facilities. And right before I was going to record this video, Israel said that this is Hezbollah's last chance. Either they move further back from the border, or we could see further escalation. So that is where we are with this latest round of a dangerous escalation between Israel and Hezbollah, which could result in a war between Israel and Hezbollah, which would most likely pull in Iran. It could eventually pull in the United States. Now, me and Alexander, we did a video yesterday on the Duran, and we talked about we talked about Benjamin Netanyahu's trip to the United States, and we talked about how this is a very dangerous time in the Middle East, because what we have in the United States is uncertainty. No one knows who is in charge, and so this could very well result in an escalation in the Middle East, a further escalation of fighting in the Middle East. So that is the news at the time of this recording. And let's now talk about the United States. And Seymour Hersh put out an article where he claims that, according to his sources, Obama was indeed the man behind the cooing of Professor Biden. That is what Seymour Hersh is saying. Let me pull up this article and read you what Seymour Hersh's source said. Now, according to Seymour Hersh, Obama called up Biden, spoke with Biden, and he basically told Biden, if you don't stand down and endorse Kamala Harris, allow Kamala Harris to be the Democratic Party nominee, we are going to 25th Amendment you, Joe Biden. That is basically what Seymour Hersh's source is saying. Obama called Biden after breakfast and said, here's the deal. We have Kamala's approval to invoke the 25th Amendment. The amendment provides that when the president is determined by the vice president and others to be unfit to carry out the powers and duties of his office, the vice president shall assume those duties. It was clear at this point, the official said, per Hersh, that she would get the nod. That is, the support to run for the presidency in the November election. But Obama also made it clear, the official said, that he was not going to immediately endorse her, but the group had decided that her work as a prosecutor would help her deal with Trump in a debate. Now, the group that Hersh's source is referring to is Obama and the Big Three is what the source calls them. The Big Three Democratic Party officials, Pelosi, Schumer, and Jeffries. So that's how Biden got cooed. Obama was the main guy. He was the driving force. And in Hersh's article, which I definitely recommend, if you are interested in this story, I recommend that you read this article. Hersh says that Obama said that he would later endorse Kamala, but that the plan was first let's warn Biden about the 25th Amendment. Let's get him to stand down. Then we get the party to rally around Kamala Harris, and then eventually Obama. As I said, Obama would be kingmaker, and he would eventually endorse Harris. And sure enough, the other day, via a video, not only Obama, but also not only Barack Obama, but also Michelle Obama, they put out a video on social media, and they did indeed endorse Kamala Harris. And the video was absolutely genuine and legit. There was nothing scripted or rehearsed or produced about the video that the Obamas put out endorsing Kamala Harris. Poor Joe Biden. Poor Joe. Talk about treachery, huh? Obama betrayed Joe Biden. Biden had no choice. He had no choice. It was either the 25th Amendment, and that would have been very embarrassing, or we got this whole theatrics that we saw play out over the past couple of weeks. Poor Joe Biden. I thought they were bracelet bros. wasn't Joe and Barack Obama, weren't they bracelet bros? Like there's photos of them wearing like these bracelets because they were best of pals. like in Friends. Remember when that episode on Friends when Joey buys Chandler the bracelet and he's like, we're bracelet bros. Chandler was horrified with the bracelet. I don't know how I'm remembering this episode, but yeah, they were bracelet bros. Barack and Joe. Barack, we were bracelet bros. How could you do this to me? Yeah. Biden was betrayed. Betrayed by Obama. So that's the Seymour Hersh article. And we got news today that Kamala Harris, her campaign raised in 1 week, get this, in 1 week, her campaign raised $200 billion. Not just kidding. $200 million. You see, I got it right this time. $200 million in 1 week. And from what I understand, this is correct, 170,000 volunteers. That can't be correct. That's not correct. 1 second. According to the Associated Press, Kamala's campaign has raised $200 million since she emerged as the likely Democratic presidential nominee last week. The bulk of the donation, 66%, comes from first-time contributors in the 2024 election cycle and were made after President Biden announced his exit from the race and endorsed Harris after Biden was cooed. And over 170,000 volunteers have also signed up to help the Harris campaign with phone banking, canvassing, and other get-out-the-vote efforts. Election day is 100 days away. This is according to the Associated Press. Wow. 170,000 volunteers. So now we know why Obama got involved in all of this and why Pelosi got involved in all of this, huh? $200 million in 1 week. Boy, are they going to be making a lot of money from this campaign, even if they lose. Even if Harris loses. Boy, are they going to be making all kinds of money. Cha-ching. Cha-ching if you're the Obamas. Cha-ching if you're the Pelosi's. I think Obama's going to be buying a football club sometime soon. What football club is Obama going to be purchasing? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he's going to purchase Atletico Madrid. Anyway, yeah, 200 million in a week. So they are going to put tons of money into the Harris campaign, and they're going to try to get her to win. Yeah, they've got the mainstream media backing them. They've got big tech backing them. They've got big donors backing them. Tons of money. They're going to try to get Harris into the White House to defeat Trump in November, and they're going to memory hole Biden. That's what they're going to do. Give it another couple of weeks. Maybe Biden will go to one or two campaign events, but slowly, they're going to ease him out. Ease him out. Biden met Netanyahu the other day, but he hasn't appeared anywhere else. He was giving TV interviews. I was talking about this. He was giving TV interviews, like 2 TV interviews every day, the last couple of weeks. And now he's almost disappeared, except for meeting Netanyahu, and that wasn't even a big deal. More people were talking about the change in Biden's height than actually what Biden and Netanyahu said. The big story with Biden meeting Netanyahu is, my God, Biden got tall. He grew by a couple of inches. But yeah, they're going to memory hole Biden, no doubt about it. And they're just going to run on Harris. Harris, the vibrant, energetic prosecutor. That's what they're going to run on. And that's what they're going to raise money on. So if you're the Trump campaign, this is what I would do if I was Trump. If I was the Trump campaign, I would send out a message to everybody on his team, on his staff, everybody that's going to be speaking at events and talking to the media. And the message that I would tell everybody is, when you mention Harris, you mention Biden. Do not allow the Democratic Party to memory hole Biden. Do not allow the Democratic Party to separate Biden and Harris. What Trump needs to do is he needs to create to solidify the connection between Biden and Harris. So every interview that, say, Vivek Ramaswamy gives, he shouldn't say Harris, the Harris campaign. No, say the Biden-Harris presidency. Or better yet, say the Harris-Biden presidency. J.D. Vance is talking somewhere. Say the Harris-Biden presidency, the 4 years of Harris and Biden. Do not allow the Democratic Party to memory hole Biden. You got to attach Harris to Biden. That's what you have to do if you're Trump. And you got to talk about all of the failed policies and the failed 4 years and the wars and all the craziness and the failures of the Harris-Biden administration. That's what you should call it, the Harris-Biden administration. That's what I would do if I was Trump. So that's some free advice to the Trump campaign. Who knows if that's going to work? But yeah, don't forget about Biden. Don't forget about Biden. That's the message to America. And don't forget that Harris was Biden's vice president. So Lavrov was in Laos, and now he's in Malaysia. I believe he's in Malaysia now. I saw photos of Lavrov getting a football jersey, Malaysia country football jersey. Anyway, when he was in Laos, before he went to Malaysia, Lavrov commented on Ukraine and how Zelensky officials, Podolyak and Kuleba, are starting to talk about negotiations. They're warming up to possible negotiations with Russia, but they want those negotiations to be based on the Zelensky peace formula, and Lavrov commented on how Podolyak and Kuleba are starting to talk negotiations. And Lavrov said that he doesn't buy any of it. He said that the Ukrainian officials, what they're trying to do at the moment is they are just trying to buy time. That's it. They're not interested in real negotiations. They're not interested in a real ceasefire. They're not interested in talking peace based on the realities on the ground, which is that Ukraine is losing very, very bad. What they're interested in is buying time and using that time to try and figure out a way to get out of the mess that they find themselves in. And that is what Lavrov said. That's what I said, actually, a couple of days ago as well, that basically what Zelensky is doing and what his team is doing is they're trying to buy time. That's why you see them warming up to possible negotiations. But they're not serious about negotiations. If they were serious about negotiations, then they would remove the clause in the Constitution which prohibits Zelensky from negotiating with Russia as long as Putin is president. That would be the first step that they would do if they were really interested in negotiating with Russia, but they're not doing that. But that's what Lavrov said. They're looking to buy time. Patrushev, he was interviewed today, and he said the same thing. He said all of this Ukraine officials talking about peace negotiation, all it's about is Ukraine trying to buy time because their military is collapsing on the front lines. They need some space to retreat, to build up defensive positions. And so they're trying to talk about peace. They're trying to talk about a ceasefire, trying to talk about possibly negotiating while freezing the conflict. And Patrushev said that Russia is not believing any of this. Patrushev was also asked about whether Russia prefers Harris or Trump, and he said, doesn't matter. He said it makes no difference whether Trump's president or whether Harris is president. The Washington Post, they put out an article saying that the F-16s will make no difference in the conflict in Ukraine. F-16 fighter jets arrive in Ukraine, but may not tip advantage against Russia. Ukrainian and Western officials now caution that the aircraft, once championed by Kiev as a game changer, are unlikely to make an immediate impact on the battlefield. So much for the F-16 wonder weapon. The Washington Post is pouring cold water on perhaps the final wonder weapon, the F-16s. So that is what the Washington Post said, and Putin was giving a speech today in St. Petersburg. Today is Navy Day in Russia. I believe that's what it's called. But Putin was giving a speech, and what the Russian president said is that the announcement that the United States may be putting missiles in Germany, that means that Russia may retaliate by freeing itself from a moratorium on the deployment of medium and short-range missiles. So if the United States places long-range missiles in Germany, which could be armed with a nuclear warhead, and according to Putin, could be launched against the Russian Federation and hit Russian territory within, I believe he said, 10 minutes, then what Russia is going to do is they are going to lift the moratorium on the deployment of medium and short-range missiles. And that's going to be the retaliation against possible long-range missiles, U.S. long-range missiles in Germany. The situation is reminiscent of the events of the Cold War related to the deployment of American medium-range missiles in Europe, Putin stated. He said that while Russia has long left the Cold War in the past, the U.S. did not reciprocate. The president warned that if the U.S. goes through with the missile deployment plan, Russia will respond accordingly. If the U.S. implements such plans, we will consider ourselves free from the previously adopted moratorium on the deployment of medium and short-range strike weapons, and will take steps to boost the capabilities of the coastal troops of our Navy, he stated, noting that the development of a number of such missile systems is in the final stages. We will take mirror measures to deploy these systems, taking into account the actions of the U.S. and its satellites in Europe and other regions of the world, Putin pledged. Going back to the Cold War, if you put missiles in Germany, then Russia is going to get ready to send missiles into Germany, to send Russian missiles into Germany, basically is what's going on here. Way to go, Joe Biden. Way to go. So that's what Putin said at the Navy event in St. Petersburg. I believe today, shifting topics, I believe today we have elections in Venezuela. Am I correct in saying that? I haven't been keeping up with this story, to be quite honest. I believe Maduro's going to win, but his opponent, Maria Corina, that's his opponent, and she is backed by Milei. She is backed by Elon Musk. I believe Elon Musk has endorsed Maria Corina. And a lot of neocons are very warm on Maria Corina. Marco Rubio tweeted something today endorsing Maduro's opposition. I believe that she was the candidate that sent the letter. Let me know if I'm wrong here, but she was the candidate that sent the letter to Netanyahu asking for Israel's help in removing Maduro or something like that. Anyway, she's the collective West favorite to try and defeat Maduro, but I don't believe that she will win. But we'll see. If there are elections in Venezuela today, and I believe there are, we will see what the results are going to be. The collective West media, they call her the Iron Lady. I think I read a New York Times article where they're calling her the Iron Lady of Venezuela. I guess a better version of Juan Guaido, a Juan Guaido 2.0. I don't know. Maybe she's legit. Maybe she is legit. I could be getting this story all wrong. But we'll see what will happen with the elections in Venezuela whenever they take place. I know they're taking place soon, but I believe today. Let's go to Syria. Let's go back to Syria, because we do have news that Italy is going to reopen their embassy in Syria, and they have appointed an ambassador to Syria. So we have the first EU country that is back in Syria, and that is Italy. I think this is an important story, so I thought I would mention it. And finally, one more quick story, then we'll get into our clown world. The FBI, they have put out a statement saying that Trump was indeed hit by a bullet. But check out the FBI statement. What a messed up statement from the FBI. Let me read it to you. Quote, "What struck former President Trump in the ear was a bullet." This is where they should stop their statement. Period. End quote. Stop. What struck former President Trump in the ear was a bullet. The FBI should end it right there. But nope, they do not end it, because they have to still keep some doubts in the narrative, because the FBI has to try and help Kamala Harris as much as they can. What struck former President Trump in the ear was a bullet, comma, whether whole or fragmented into smaller pieces, fired from the deceased subject's rifle, the Bureau said in a short statement on Friday. What an effed up statement, man. What struck President Trump in the ear was a bullet. Ended there. Period. Over. Nope. Could have been metal fragments. Could have been little bullet metal fragments. We don't know. It was a bullet, but could have been little itsy bitsy teeny weeny tiny fragments. Ah, the FBI. Let's do some clown world. So let's do one clown world for today. And we go to the Paris Olympics, to the opening ceremony, the train wreck that was the opening ceremony of the Olympic Games in Paris. And there were a lot of videos of the train wreck of the opening ceremony, showing pictures of Papa Smurf and other terrible things. And I don't know if this is the Olympic Committee. I think this is the Olympic Committee. It looks like they are sending letters to social networks telling them to remove the videos of Papa Smurf and other debauchery from the opening ceremony, or else they are going to be hit with copyright infringement and lawsuits and stuff like that. And so, sure enough, we are seeing big tech taking down the videos from the opening ceremony, or at least the videos that showcase the craziness and debauchery. They are being taken down, which means that I guess Macron and the organizers of the Paris Olympics are not very proud of the work that they did, of the actual opening ceremony, the actual performance. They're not proud of the performance. If you're proud of the performance, you stand by the performance, right? You don't send letters to take down the segments, the clips that are on the interwebs. You say, we're proud of our artists. We're proud of the opening ceremony. We're proud of the performance. This is France. Isn't that what Macron posted on Twitter X? This is France. I guess not so much France now. This is not so much France. And the funny part is that it looks like the Olympics official, I believe this is the official Twitter account, actually took down its own videos of the opening ceremony. Not even like the official Olympics account on Twitter. I think this is Twitter. I've got a screenshot of it. It's either Twitter or Facebook. I believe it's Twitter. They took down their own videos of the opening ceremony, at least of the debaucherous parts of the opening ceremony. This is France, according to Macron. Anyway, that's the video, everybody. TheDuran.locals.com. We are on Rumble, ODYSEE, BitChute, Telegram, Rockfin, and Twitter X. And go to the Duran shop. Pick up a Duran t-shirt. I'm wearing a Duran t-shirt of the Greek flag, but I'm not in Greece. And yeah, that's it for today. Catch you guys tomorrow. Take care.